Welcome to another Sims 4 video. Today we're building a family fun recreation center. I know we just did one, but this one's completely different. We're gonna have a roller rink, bowling alley, basketball court, and an arcade. So this has got a lot of different stuff than the other one I did, and it's built for the weird 40 by 20 lot in San Sequoia. So here we are, we're on this lot. Yeah, it's a really weird lot. This 40 by 20 is not really something that you could use for a house. I mean, of course you could use it for a house. I think if you're gonna do residential, it'd have to be like row houses or something like townhouses, because it's weird, because it's in between these, there's got roads on three sides. It's right next to like this huge community center space. So I was like, I think this is a good place to build like a recreation center. And I did just build one on the channel, you might have already seen. And if you wanna check that one out, that'll be linked up on screen or in the description down below as well. That one has a bunch of other stuff like all the games tables. It's like a library, a music space, all that kind of stuff. This one, on the other hand, has got a lot of the bigger activities that obviously requires other expansion packs. So I'm really excited for this as a place that we can visit with our Sims as well. Now, I originally did this as a live stream here on the channel. So if you want to check out the full live stream, it's like 2 hours. There's a lot of like chatting and trying to figure stuff out. So this is a much more condensed version. We're doing like a 9-10 minute time lapse, and then I'm going to show you the finished product, because I actually didn't record me finishing the furnishing of this build, but I will give you a full tour, and then obviously you can download this lot as well. And I think it turned out really, really well. I'm super excited. It was actually inspired by a public library that we often see when we do road trips. There's a public library in Wodonga, in a town here in Australia, that looks really, really cool, and it's got a very similar color scheme to the one I end up using here. It actually, one of the main features of that real life library is it has this huge like cantilevered section that hangs out over the, you know, the footpath outside, which is kind of what I'm doing here. You can see on the other side of this bowling alley, the whole building sort of sticks out. Well, underneath the bowling alley there, it sticks out over the outside space, which is really cool. I mean, I would have made the cantilever bigger because it is actually pretty big in real life, but obviously this lot isn't that big. It's quite a small lot for doing a full-size rec center with all this like huge stuff in it. It's not the biggest lot, but I think I'm really happy with everything that we managed to fit in here, and I think it actually turned out really, really well for what it is. So we got the roller rink downstairs. You saw we did the bowling alley. Then the arcade's actually going on the second level. We do also have like a canteen. However, something we found while we were testing is on, this is the lot type of recreation center. That is the official lot type that this is. Like vendors and stuff don't automatically appear. So I put down like a canteen desk or table, canteen, I don't know, a little bar basically. The NPC that serves you food doesn't show up unless you specifically click on it and say hire vendor. So that is one downside, but then we'll kind of like the canteen and the communal space kind of makes sense, but you could also turn that little canteen space into something else. So it's kind of like a little bit of a flexible zone, because it wouldn't really have to be somewhere to eat. The canteen also doubles as like the game space, because on the lot type of recreation center, you do have to have the game tables where you play like Sabak and Don't Wake the Llama and all those kind of things, and symbols and the puzzles. They have to be on this lot. So that is in like the cafeteria area, where it kind of makes sense. Now at this point, you can see we've got the requirements of the lot. We were like really struggling in the live stream chat, because the things that count as workout equipment is super annoying. It doesn't actually include every item. One of the great suggestions was to actually use one of the punching bags and put it in the arcade. So it's like, you know, one of those punch machines that you see in an arcade. However, for whatever reason, The Sims doesn't tag the punching bag as a workout equipment, even though obviously your Sims can work out using it. And it's the same with a few other items. I think, for example, the basketball hoop as well does not count as a workout item, which again, obviously it is. So anyway, what that basically means is we ended up having to have 2 rock climbing walls. Just kind of random, but I mean, it adds into the vibe. It is like a community center. It's kind of like a fun rock climbing space. It would have been nice to put them inside the actual arcade as like a little fun, family fun activity. Although I don't even know if kids can do it, but you know, I remember used to like doing the rock climbing walls as a kid and those kind of places. But anyway, it didn't fit in there because the walls have to be super tall, and I didn't really want to make the walls really tall for that. So we put it up on the roof. You'll see it in a little bit. I think it actually works, and it actually kind of makes sense. Now the rooftop here, we did a rooftop basketball court, which is obviously sort of reminiscent almost of like an inner city high school or like a elementary school or something like that. A lot of the chat was saying it's kind of like the basketball court from Princess Diaries, which is a little bit of fun. You know, we did do a few little bleachers up there, as you saw, like we used the platforms to do a couple different heights. But yeah, I think that actually worked really well. So obviously we didn't get a full-size basketball court, just the one hoop. Again, this lot isn't really big enough for all the really giant stuff, so we did the best with what we had. And I love using those Desert Luxe windows, the ones that are sort of angled and sloped inward. It kind of almost gives this building like a mid-century vibe. Like it looks like this building could have been, you know, something built back in the 50s, 60s or whatever, and then they've renovated it recently because it has like the outside color scheme is definitely a lot more contemporary than I guess what the architecture may suggest. So I like to imagine that this was a renovated recreation center that isn't fully done, because once you see the arcade is definitely a little bit more old school. We went for the classic like retro vibed arcade, which I think actually looks so good. I'm so stoked for it. I think you guys are gonna like it. We don't see it in the time lapse, but we'll jump into the game after this time lapse and we'll see all the rooms and everything and how it all came together. I'm super excited, and I think you guys are gonna really, really like this. So this color scheme that I'm using, the bricks, the sort of rusted orange metal, and then the black metal sheeting as well. This is all inspired from that real world library that I was talking about earlier. It has this combination of the orangey metal, the beautiful like clean brickwork, and then it also has like, I don't think it has the black metal sheeting, but it has like a lot of big black window frames and all that. So it is very a very contemporary look, or at least contemporary styled here in Australia. This is, you know, kind of what we're seeing around the place. But I also mixed in, you can see some white metal sheeting here as well. Because if I did the whole building brick and orange, it kind of looked a bit much. So I thought I'd mix it up. We got a few different combinations going on here. And I think the final look is really nice. And I think, I mean, it kind of doesn't fully suit the world. Because if you look around this neighborhood, all the buildings are just like white and gray, which, to be quite frank, I think it's kind of boring. So I didn't want to just make this like a white gray stone building to match the other stuff. Like we matched our last rec center build, the one we did in the other, I guess I don't know what the neighborhood's called, but the other downtown area in San Sequoia, where it had those beautiful colored sort of townhouses. You know, they were really colorful and really nice, and those matched in really well with the world. However, here, if we matched it in with the world, I think it would have been kind of boring. So we just didn't do that. That was a better way to sort of, I think this looks different enough that I'm quite happy with it. It's also kind of far enough away from the rest of the buildings that I think it removes itself and it doesn't feel like it has to match, if that makes sense. So anyway, here is where I end up putting the rock climbing walls. We use these little L-shaped beams from Get Together just to create a sort of canopy, because we're actually on the top level. I can't build another level above this. So I was just experimenting with the way this would look good. I almost wanted to hide them, basically. That's what we're doing. I think it actually turned out really, really well. I know it looks a little bit silly. Like, this was kind of the idea that I was starting off. A lot of the stuff I was doing here on the live stream was just getting the ideas and planting the seeds. Like you just saw the arcade carpeting, a lot of fun. The other thing we also have to have is actually a shower room, because of all the workout equipment, you require showers on this lot. So that is up the top here in this little bathroom, which I was just trying to figure out the layout of. So we do have like I guess a locker room. We don't have any like lockers or changing things or anything like that, just toilets and showers. But yeah, I think that works out pretty dang well. And it is all the way up the top. So I think we have a bathroom on the ground floor and a bathroom on the top floor. Here's hoping the Sims don't use the wrong one. Like if they're on the ground floor, hopefully they don't go all the way upstairs. However, knowing Sims, they might just do that. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm pretty sure this bathroom layout changes a bit. But yeah, this is just sort of the planning phase. A lot of the live stream is just sort of planning stuff out, figuring out how it's going to work. That's the little canteen area I was talking about, which completely changes the way I furnish it. But we do like a little music stage. Oops, sorry, that's my mouse. We do like a little music stage over in the corner here, because another thing the rec center has to have is musical instruments, which I think is great for, you know, a family sort of environment. However, this particular lot, the only reason we made it a rec center is because I wanted the Sims that visit this lot to actually use all the stuff. So we tried a few different lot types. This one just made the most sense at the end of the day. So that's what we went with. Because it means people do use a roller rink and they do use all the arcade machines and stuff like that. So it is actually, it does come alive. Like this place does come alive, and I'm pretty stoked about that. And then, yeah, so just did like a little, almost like a little performance stage there. All right, here we are, the finished product. We've got lots of greenery. I think it's really come together. I'm so happy with how this looks. I think it looks so nice. So this is the outside. You can see we've got the cantilevered section here. Again, in real life, this actually kind of sticks out a lot further. Hey, what are those doing up over there? Just Sims 4 things. There's nothing wrong with the game. Yeah, so in real life, there's actually this huge cantilever section that sticks out actually surprisingly way further than that. But I think in the Sims, I think that looks pretty good. You can see the canteen underneath with those sloped windows, which I think looks amazing. We also have those same... Hey, that wall there is not painted. There we go, all better. We have those same sloped windows here underneath, which I thought looked really nice through this atrium, which again, I think the atrium itself looks really awesome, a lot of fun. We have the bathroom up the top there. Coming around the side, we do have a big window just here, but it's covered by a curtain because that's where the arcade is, and the arcade's gotta be nice and shadowy. So actually on the outside, there's surprisingly not as many windows as you'd think on the second floor. There's a lot on the ground floor where we can see the canteen through there, the atrium, and also the roller rink, which was a lot of fun to do. We'll have a look at that in a minute. And then up on the rooftop, we have the basketball court. We've got a bunch of benches. I actually don't know if you can get to the second row, but to be honest, you don't really need to sit on these benches anyway. There's not really any purpose other than to look cool. I did also go heavy on the solar panels because, you know, this is a contemporary renovation. They're being green. We've got lots of plants and greenery. Like, we might as well put some solar panels on the roof up here as well. And then the rock climbing section here is now inside this little green sort of walled section. So from the outside, it kind of just looks nice, to be honest. I really like the look of it. A little bit of fun. But then when you go down, put the walls like this, you can easily see it and see inside. So I don't think there's any problem with that. Then we have the showers and toilets over here. And then, yeah, that just comes out onto the basketball area there. So you can see like the atrium here. We have a little section you can see all the way down. Hang on, let me just jump into this view because you can kind of get a good first person look. You do get a beautiful view out over the lake. And then you see it all the way down through all the levels. Nice big green wall going all the way down. And that's the top floor. Now we're gonna go straight to the bottom floor because I feel like the middle floor is kind of the most exciting with the arcade and all that. Over here is the roller rink, which I had a little bit of fun with. This is, I guess, almost like, you know, the teams could play roller hockey here. Although it is the smaller size because we couldn't fit the full size or like the full size ice rink because this again, this lot's just not big enough. I mean, we could do it sideways, but you can see it takes up like half the lot. So I figured we'll just go with the smaller one. That works. And then we do have like little benches around the side as well where you can kind of sit. Though again, not really much point to sit there. Not sure what's going on with that. Is that just a different color or is that lighting? It's just the light. Okay, the lighting is just glitched. Okay. That is literally the same color, but the lighting is messed up. I don't know, whatever. Oh, is it because the light here? Oh, let's put an extra light there. Yeah, so this is the roller rink area. You know, there's not much I could do in here because it takes up most of the room, but I did have a little fun with the platforms, adding a few little steps down to make it a bit more interesting. Then over this side is the canteen / game room. So these are the game tables where you can, you know, do the puzzles, card games, Sabak, all that stuff. Then we have the cafeteria item here where you could hire a vendor and get some food, or we just have vending machines as well if you just want to grab food from there, and then like a little performance stage in the corner. And then actually, oh yeah, outside as well, we do have a barbecue here. I don't know why there's a post box there. It's literally outside the lot, so I can't get rid of it, but I assume that won't be in your game if you download this lot. It's like just, yeah, I can't do anything about that. It's just there. So don't worry about that. Yeah, so that's the little cafeteria. Then we do have the downstairs bathroom just in here. That does also have a change room for if you bring, you know, infants or toddlers or whatever, you know, there's a way you can change them there, and a couple of toilets as well. And that's the downstairs. Let's go upstairs. First, we'll have a look at the bowling alley, which has nice big signs here. You can see all in there. So we come inside of the bowling alley. Oh yeah, this is what we want. So we've got 4 lanes, which is, I mean, way more than enough. You probably only need 1 realistically. Because what we found is Sims don't autonomously go bowling. You kind of have to make them do it. So the likelihood that all 4 of these are ever going to be used at the same time is pretty low. So that's fine. And then we have a bunch of, you know, the bowling night stuff just on this side. Lots of bowling memorabilia, awards, posters, that kind of stuff. And naturally, it is kind of dark in here as well, because I don't know, I always feel like the bowling alleys I've always been to, number 1, always have an arcade attached to it. Number 2, they're always dark, and they have like black lights pretty much, and that's it, like neons and all that. I know this isn't that heavy on the neons or all that kind of stuff, but it is darker, a little bit lighter on this side. But I think the most exciting place in this whole build, oh yes, it is the arcade. Yeah, we've got the classic arcade flooring, like the 90s flooring. We got the little prize collection table I'm using with the thrift store desk here, which is where you'd have the clerk or something like that. Now, we have the toddlers corner, because if you bring toddlers here, we thought, let's do like a little ball pit for them. Then over here, we got the foosball table. We've got a couple of the gaming machines up here in the corner. Now, these are all just regular colored lights. I was imagining them probably being maybe neon colored, and you could color these rooms differently, but I haven't gone into live mode and done that. You know what, maybe we should do that. Let's do that. There we go. We can do like a red versus blue kind of setup. So yeah, these rooms have the big TVs and gaming consoles in it. That's the idea. Lots of LED downlighting there. I might do the same up on these guys here, so we have like a red and a blue. Yeah, that's good. I don't think the other lights need to be colored necessarily, because we're sort of just got the sort of hanging lights over the things that need lighting. So yeah, the two big arcade machines in the middle, foosball. We also got the Void Critter battles for kids, little jukebox, and then the juice pong table over this side as well. So plenty of like activities to actually do in here. And I think the lighting really adds to it. But yeah, there you have it. That is the rec center build called Wreck and Roll, as voted by the live stream chat when we originally did this. So I'll upload this to the gallery if you want to check it out. I'll link it in the description down below. But thanks so much to these members for supporting the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed the build. It was a lot of fun. I know we sort of just started it off on stream and then I didn't even record the rest of it. I kind of just spent some time chilling out and building, which sometimes, you know, you just need. You need some me time. So I just had fun tinkering away, furnishing this. And I think it turned out really well. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to leave your comments, suggestions, and feedback down below. If you have any other ideas for a potential third rec center, because there's so many activities and sims that I'm sure we could do another one that has a bunch of other stuff too. But until next time, thanks for watching and have an awesome day.